Not only crypto, not only
Of
AI,
course.
Wall Street banks have a C4. Everybody is getting in this game. Meta says it's going to spend $65 million. Everybody is getting involved in this, in the big money game, and very quickly.
Good morning, I'm Anna Palmer.
And I'm Jake Sherman.
And welcome to the Daily Punch, brought to you by Punchbowl News. It's Thursday, February 19th, 2026. Let's get in the mix. Here are your Washington headlines of the day. Number one, the House preps for an Iran powers resolution, plus the latest on DHS funding. Number two, big tech goes big on spending in the midterms. And number three, a report out of Texas from our very own Allie Mutnick on the ground covering the Senate GOP primary race. All right, Jake, let's get to it. We have a very packed AM edition given it is congressional recess, but let's start with the move on the Iran powers resolution. This is all going to tee up for next week.
Yeah, Khanna and Thomas Massie are forcing a war powers resolution vote on Iran. The big question right now, I mean, if you follow military and airplane Twitter, which I'm not sure you do, Anna, but...
Not for me, there's a lot of things I follow, Olympics, fashion, food.
Food, I know you're big into, and also travel, but you're not
the plane movement Twitter. That is not big on. I know that's your thing, really.
It is my thing, and actually, it's made it into the usually by airplane. Twitter or airplane X does not move into the mainstream, but it has moved into the mainstream. The U.S. has sent lots of military hardware into the region. The Wall Street Journal has a story this morning that we put in the AM edition that says the U.S. gathers the most air power in the Middle East since the 2003 Iraq invasion. That's a lot of firepower, and Congress, Khanna and Thomas Massie specifically, and I'm sure other people will say that Trump cannot do this because he has not sought authorization from Congress. Presidents have sought authorization from Congress less and less in recent years. And if Trump does decide to attack Iran, he's going to do so most likely, almost certainly, under the auspices of his executive power, or what he believes to be his executive power. Khanna and Thomas Massie do not agree. These war resolution votes are politically charged, but they're not usually successful. So it's a very politically charged vote, but I don't anticipate, at least maybe I don't anticipate right now that it will be successful.
I think important though, Jake, right? This comes under the backdrop of these diplomatic talks between Iran and the U.S. And the fact that this is, again, the idea that the House is not able to kind of push off some of these challenges when it comes to bringing up resolutions that certainly the White House is not supportive of. You've got Senators Tim Kaine and Rand Paul in the Senate chamber having another Iran war powers resolution ready for consideration in the Senate, but have not said when they may force a vote on it. Just worth keeping an eye on this because obviously Congress is watching closely what is happening when it relates to this administration vis-a-vis foreign policy and the use of military strength, and whether they use it as more of a threat versus actually doing something or not. But this is going to be something that people are watching really closely.
And I have no idea. And I don't think anyone does. Trump has been clear that he wants a deal rather than a military conflict, and and then CBS reports that it could be as soon as this weekend, these attacks. So we'll have to see the next couple of days.
All right. Also, we are leading this morning's newsletter with a DHS update, or ... not. We write in the subhead. The shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security is now entering its sixth day, with thousands of federal employees staying on the job but not getting paid. While both sides, are continuing their negotiations, nothing publicly said, no paper being dropped, no legislative text, obviously, which would be the kind of the step towards getting a resolution here. It feels like this is going to go into next week, Jake.
It does seem like that. It's Thursday. So unless the House and Senate came back this weekend or moves very expeditiously Monday through two chambers, or Monday, Tuesday, this is going to go into the State of the Union, in which the president has, like every president before him and every president after him, will have a massive bully pulpit of tens of millions of people watching him, where he can make his case that this is the Democrats' fault. And a lot of Democrats, as has been reported, are going to go to a rally on the National Mall instead of going to the State of the Union. Hakeem Jeffries has said that he doesn't want interruptions, during the State of the Union. But I don't see DHS being solved. I just don't at this point. I mean, it has to open at some point, obviously. It's not going to stay shut forever, but I don't see it being solved by Tuesday.
All right, Jake, let's run the number 2 story of the morning. The money wave. Corporate America is coming for the midterms. Wow, there is an unprecedented number of free spending super PACs, many backed by corporations and their top executives, and they are gearing up to influence the 2026 elections, pushing their preferred candidates and policies. We write this morning. I mean, not surprising. We've seen a lot of big money, whether you look at what happened with the crypto industry getting wise to this last election cycle. Now you've got artificial intelligence as one of the biggest issues. I mean, it really seems like we've seen time and time again in cycles over the last 10, 20 years of corporate America kind of making a step in. But this is different. This isn't just executive PACs or giving contributions to, kind of outside, the big political arms. This is really a rallying cry of the individual industries saying, you better take our issues seriously or else.
Yes. This was a Brez idea, just putting together the fact that we're just seeing an unprecedented number of super PACs. By the way, not only crypto, not only AI, Wall Street banks have a C4. Everybody is getting in this game. Meta says it's going to spend $65 million. Everybody is getting involved in the big money game, and very quickly. And some of these groups are working together. Some of them are not. But Fair Shake, Khanna, has raised $193 million. I mean, this is just a wild amount of money. They have more money than the DNC, which isn't hard, I guess, but they have more money. They have more money than the NRC. I mean, 4 times as much money as the NRCC and DCCC, if I'm not mistaken. That's a tremendous amount of money. And they are changing the face of midterms, especially midterms, where if you drop, 2 million on TV in a House race, that is a big deal, right? I mean, in a race that in a primary or in a race that's only attracting several $1 million, this is a huge deal.
Yeah, really excited to announce today. We are announcing that Leading the Future, Zach Moffett and Josh Vlasta will join us to talk AI, crypto, and how the broader tech sector, one of those industries, of course, spending a ton of money in the 2026 midterms. They're going to join us on stage at the conference on March 10th. We thought it was really important because it's just emblematic of this larger trend of how industries are kind of trying to use every tool in the toolbox, right? And we'll have to see how or whether they are successful and what the strategy is. So really want to make sure that our audience tunes into that as well. We're announcing other CEO executives as well as a Future of Sports in DC panel. You can check that out at punchbowl.news/events.
That's my favorite panel, Anna. I know you know
that.
The
Future of Sports, you mean? Yes.
Yes.
I know, but you are going. I don't know if I've told you this. You're moderating it, so get excited.
Great. Well, I didn't know that, but I have a lot of thoughts about the future. As a fan of all of these teams, I am very excited to learn more about the future of the Wizards specifically.
We have Zach Leon Sismark-Ein, as well as the president of the Washington Nationals, joining us. So for sure, it is going to be very interesting. The last item of the day, the number 3 item of the day, in Dallas, our very own Allie Mutnick talking about how Wesley Hunt is shaking up the Texas Senate primary. The other candidates trying to say he's not serious. There's no way he's got a shot. But man, Representative Wesley Hunt, he is now, he has got a lot of money and is making a play.
Listen, it's interesting. This primary is March 3rd, which is less than a month away. And Wes Hunt, he is the least likely to make the runoff, but it's not certain that he won't. He's been the target of $9.3 million in attack ads from Ken Paxton and John Cornyn. And both Paxton and Cornyn say they're not really focused on Hunt. Paxton said, I'm not really focused on Wesley. My job is to take out Cornyn. Cornyn said he won't be a factor after March 3rd. He can't win. Certainly he is a factor if they're spending 10 million. Groups, not only the members, but groups have spent nearly $10 million against him, rather. Listen, Anna, this is an incredibly interesting race. John Cornyn is a 2-decade incumbent who is now caught up in this race. The money that Republicans are going to spend in a runoff, if it is Cornyn versus either of these two men, is just epic. It will be epic. It's something that we've covered from the beginning, starting when Ken Paxton announced his run for Senate, basically at the Punchbowl News office at our Capitol Hill office. And so we've been on this since the beginning. This is a humongous race for control of the Senate. Why is it humongous? Because it's not out of the realm of possibility that Republicans could lose this seat if they nominate anyone but Cornyn. That's not me saying it. That's Republicans saying it, and Democrats saying it too. So we are all over this. Allie's done great stuff from Texas, where she's been all week and will be, I believe, today also. So we are very excited about this coverage and to keep covering this race.
All right, we are going to leave it there. Thanks so much for listening, for watching. We appreciate it. If you like the Daily Punch, please share on social media. Tell your friends. It's the best way for folks to find out about us. And of course, you can go deeper on all things Punchbowl News at punchbowl.news. Also, I want to give Jalen, our producer, a shout out. Jake, he cuts our video, edits the morning AM, and gets up very early with us. So thank you, Jalen, for making this podcast much better than just the two of us. I'll tell you that.
The only person that John Bresnahan says does an amazing job every week with no criticism. Of course, Bres says everyone does a great job, but not always.
It's not you and me.
I haven't gotten.
I'm just trying to get better every single day.
I haven't gotten a nice comment since the Obama era from Brett. But anyway, it's
right. Something to strive for. Have a great day. Stay safe.